Hi, everybody. My name is Sue. I'm with Time Biomed. I'm not sure if you guys know why we're here, but we're here to discuss regenerative medicine, predominantly peptides. I don't know if all of you know what peptides are, but we're kind of here to talk to you guys about what peptides are, what they do, how they help in the field of regenerative medicine. So my name is Sue. I'm with Time Biomed. I'm going to kind of give you guys a brief overview of peptides, and then Dr. Timothy Carpenter over here is going to go over the scientific facts as well as answering any questions you guys might have about how it pertains to you. Okay, so what is a peptide? Peptide is a short chain amino acid. It's basically your body's way of targeting a way, like it's kind of telling your body how to heal. You guys know what a peptide is? Most of you, yes, no, have you heard of it? Every third person is either taking peptides, they know somebody that takes peptides, they know where to get them. So peptides are not a prescription-based drug. So what it is it's not going to be something you're going to go to your doctor and say, hey, can you prescribe me a peptide? It's not how it works. It's kind of a supplement. So let's say you guys go to your doctor and you get your full labs done, right? And your full labs say you're short of, or you're deficient in vitamin B or vitamin D or whatnot. You then go to your local either GNC or nutrition store and you get a supplement for your vitamin B or vitamin D. Peptides kind of work in the same way as a supplement, but a little bit more potent. So it's your body's way of telling you already naturally produce peptides from the day you're born. The older we get, the more our body depletes them, the more our body needs it. Peptides can do an array of things from balancing your hormones to improving your metabolic rate to reducing weight loss to increasing muscle to helping your cardiovascular function, helping gut health, helping digestive tracts. It does everything. There's a peptide that kind of does anything for everything. Now there's about 56 to 60 peptides out there on the market. I'm not going to go over all of them. I'm going to go over the top ones that are out there that most people are using, and then you guys can ask questions about specific ones later. Does that work? Okay. So the most common peptide is a GLP. A GLP is a glucagon-like peptide, which it's the hormone your body creates post-eating. So what does a GLP peptide do? Have you guys heard of Ozempic and Mounjaro, all of those? They're GLP-1s. They are pharmaceutical grade GLP-1s, so they're created a bit differently than the GLP-1s that we have. So they are mass produced. So they're mass produced for the pharmaceutical industry. GLP-1s are starting to get a little bit of a weird name to it, or kind of a little bit of a blowback because of what it's done and people's misusing the GLP-1. It reduces your appetite, slows your body's digestive tract, so you kind of feel fuller longer, and therefore you're losing weight. It was originally created for diabetic patients, people who needed to balance their glucose levels, and now it's being used for the mass public for weight loss. We are most excited about our GLP-3, which is the proper way, the actual scientific way to say it is retatrutide, but most common public know it as retatrutide. Retatrutide is a GLP-3 because it hits 3 different pathways. So it's not just hitting what a GLP-1 does, which is just targeting your weight loss and your glucose levels. It's also hitting your GIP and your glucagon. So it's hitting 3 different ways to not only balance your body's glucose levels, but it also boosts your metabolism from inside and helps you actually retain muscle while helping cardiovascular health. It's kind of the game changer right now. There's a lot of buzz around retatrutide or retatrutide because of all of the positive effects it has on your health, and therefore it hasn't hit big pharma yet. So you're not going to have this prescribed to you by your doctors because it's not out there in big pharma. Ozempic, Mounjaro, those are GLP-1s, and they are. Retatrutide is not. It's going to be a peptide that you're going to be able to get off of big pharma industry, especially Reta. Especially Reta. Reta is going to be you're going to hear a lot more in the next 2 to 3 years in terms of what it does for the full body functioning. There are people, and this is not something that we claim, so please, this is a disclaimer that we do not claim this. There are people saying that it's going to actually even help cure cancer. Now, again, that is not something that we're claiming. It is just that potent of a peptide. So the most common peptide that's been on the market for the longest time, and it's not even a peptide, but it's labeled under the peptide industry, is NAD+. NAD plus is kind of your master catcher. For women especially, it's really good. Well, it's good for both women and men, especially in helping focus energy levels, creating it, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the drug Adderall. You guys familiar with Adderall? Do you know how Adderall helps ADHD or ADD patients completely focus, right? NAD plus kind of works like as an Adderall for all human beings. It helps us focus. It drives energy from within. It helps at a cellular level for us to basically, it's kind of like your battery charger in your body. It is the most common peptide because it was taken orally for about 20 years now. 20 years or 30 years? I don't know how long it's been. It's been around for a while. They're noticing that the actual effects of injecting it subcutaneously or intramuscularly helps patients 10 times more, if not 50 times more, in what it does and boosts your body's natural cellular ability to regenerate. The next common peptide that's used is BPC-157. This is going to be your overall joint muscle healer. It's more of a localized healer. So BPC-157 is commonly used in conjunction with something called TB500, which we'll get to in a second. Those two are going to be your body's way of helping your joints, muscles, everything recover. BPC is going to be more localized. TB is going to be more internal. It's going to help your overall body. BPC also is known for gut health. It helps you with gut health. It helps support basically the regeneration, and it also is used for post-injury. So if you have an injury, you have inflammation, you need to get some support, most people are using BPC. Most athletes are using BPC-157 on a regular basis. It's a daily peptide you take regularly for joint, muscle, any kind of chronic pain. It also works as an anti-inflammatory. A lot of people are using this localized in their areas of pain as well. That's something that I would definitely consult a medical practitioner to do. I would not do that at home by yourself, is to join, if you have knee pain, to inject yourself in your knee. Make sure you get some help from that. But if this is going to be something that you're going to do on a regular basis, it's sub-Q. So BPC-157 and TB500, the combination of the two is called the Wolverine stack. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but what the Wolverine stack is being used in is commonly the NBA, NFL, and a lot of these major professional sports areas, because of the fact that it's kind of your miracle cure. Which leads me to TB500. This is the one I told you guys. It's going to be your overall body repair. It's going to help from the inside out in helping you with your basic reduction of inflammation. It's going to help muscle repair, tissue flexibility, and range of motion. So this is going to be your flexibility helper. It's going to help you with modality, which a lot of us have an issue with post-40. A lot of women perio and postmenopause have issues with this. And this is something that does help with a massive help with inflammation for us females. But it is mostly used in conjunction with GHKCU, your copper peptide. It's the most popular amongst the females because it's what we call the beauty peptide. And guys, hey, listen, anybody that wants it, it's great. It helps you. It's why it's called the beauty peptide is because it helps with hair growth, nail growth, helps with our skin care, the quality of our skin. It's known to be used in med spas in conjunction with microneedling to help with sunspots and all sorts of skin ailments. So GHKC, it's the copper in conjunction with the peptide that helps boost it, but it is also, it helps with inflammation and cellular repair. So it's kind of your overall go-to for females as well as males, whoever is interested in this, but it is very, very potent. And it is one of those ones that you take every single day. The GHKC is a daily peptide you're going to take. MOTS-C. Anybody heard of MOTS-C? Yes, no? MOTS is going to be your mitochondrial repair. It's my favorite because you can stack it with other peptides to help boost what the other peptides are doing. Most people are stacking it with retatrutide, because it helps boost your metabolism in addition with mitochondrial repair from within. So it helps you burn fat while you're still, kind of healing yourself from inside. So why people use it, why patients use it with Retta in conjunction is because Retta is helping them decrease their appetite and lose weight that way. And at the same time, MOTS-c is helping you burn your fat through boosting your metabolism. I will say it's a mood booster too. So what I've noticed for me is when I'm taking NAD, it kind of amps me up. It gets me very, very focused. Whereas when I'm taking MOTS-c and NAD together, I'm more even keeled. Or if I'm just taking MOTS-c, I'm able to just kind of mellow myself out. If I'm having it helps with stress and anxiety as well. So like if you're ever fatigued, right? A lot of us are fatigued just by life, right? Life is stressful. You get fatigued. You go through your days, and you feel like coffee is just not enough. And honestly, when I take my NAD, I don't need coffee. I don't need that extra boost of energy. NAD is enough for me. Usually by the third hour of me taking it, I'm kind of on kind of a rocket ship mode where I can get a lot done. I get more done in that day than I usually get done in an entire week. So NAD's kind of your battery charger for your whole body. And MOTS-c, you're absolutely. Glutathione, it's your master antioxidant. The glutathione is one of my favorites because it has this thing, and it has an effect with it. I don't know if any of you guys have gotten IV drip or IV hydration before, but most IV hydration places put glutathione in their IV hydration because of the fact that it's a master antioxidant. What people use it for in Vegas is it's the anti-hangover cure. But why it works so well is it immediately helps your intracellular antioxidant. So it's exactly what he said about NAD and MOTS. It's you're not putting fake stuff into your body to make you hydrate, like liquid IV, which is a powder you stick into your body, into your water. It's your body kind of oxidizing in your liver, releasing the toxins naturally. Your liver's literally, it's boosting your liver's function to release the toxins, which is why glutathione's the most popular amongst patients in terms of IV hydration or any kind of antioxidant. Thymosin alpha 1. So there's TB with thymosin beta, right? TA1 is very, very, I think it's very important the older we get, because the older we get, the more stress and fatigue our bodies go through, the harder our immune systems get hit. And TA1 helps our immunity. It's an autoimmune booster. It's your all-in-one autoimmune booster. And so immune booster. But it does help with autoimmune diseases, correct?
It does help.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, we don't want to be
no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. But it basically is going to be, it's what people prescribe TA1, not prescribe, but go on to TA1 if they have infections or massive infections that they can't get rid of. If it was used during COVID, they actually did beta testing on it on COVID patients, and they found that it actually helped quite a bit with symptoms. So TA1's interesting in the fact that it does a lot more than what it says it's going to do. I want to add to that because I know you take it.
I do take it. I have it.
So those are our top peptides. That doesn't mean that they're all of them. We sell a lot more. There's a lot more out there on the market, but they're the top ones that we see people commonly using. And just because they're used, it doesn't mean that it takes away from, it's not a magic pill that you're going to take and all of a sudden you're going to become healthy again. You still have to have a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, see your physician regularly. But essentially, it's your body's way of regenerating itself from within. And it's using your own tools that you were born with to help you get better and help you heal and help you live longer, live better, live cleaner, and with pumping yourself with less medication. One of the coolest things in terms of healthcare, so I'm sure you guys all know, our world is moving towards regenerative medicine very rapidly. It's steering away from big pharma, not as rapid as it should, in my opinion, but it's steering away from big pharma and going into regenerative because of the fact that people are having a lot less side effects when they're dealing with things naturally. I think the thing about peptides that is a beautiful thing is they're always constantly recompounding, coming up with new ways, exactly what he said, to treat different ailments. As I said in the beginning, there's 50 to 60 out there right now that can treat anything. If you guys name a symptom, there's a peptide for it. So I think at this point, we'd open it up for questions that you guys might have regarding what peptides work. They do have NAD. NAD is one that's oral. So everything's potency, right? So it's a matter of how your body absorbs it. So when we're taking it through a pill form, our body absorbs it a different way. When we're taking it through an injection, the body's absorbing it a different way. And so they found that NAD's use when it's IV or subcutaneous or IM is a much better and more efficient way for your body to absorb it. And so it doesn't mean that it doesn't work orally. That none of this is none of what we're saying is that you can't take it orally and you can't benefit from it. It's just the levels of potency that you're going to get. How much? It's like if you're taking 5 CUs of vitamin C versus 5,000 CUs of vitamin C kind of thing. Piggybacking off of what he's saying, just really quickly, a lot of people that are taking it are thinner, smaller people that are taking Retta. They're microdosing. Exactly what he's saying. They're taking the smallest amount possible to maintain their body weight, but they're actually building muscle on top of it. So a lot of times when we're post 40, we lose muscle mass as women, right? Because we go through perimenopause and menopause. And so while we are trying to build our lean muscle back, it's harder for us than it is for men. And so Retta's shown to help us retain our muscle and not, in fact, help us build it back up again while not dropping a ton of weight like semaglutide and tirzepatide does. And you also don't have that major nauseous feeling that some of the other GLPs do. So if you are looking at a GLP that's going to help you not drop a ton of weight, maintain the muscle mass, and then on top of it help cardiovascularly, it's going to be the retatrutide. So semaglutide and tirzepatide affect your taste buds from people that are taking it. It makes them nauseous faster. It's all based off of a balanced diet, is exactly what Tim said. If you eat well and you exercise well, Retta won't really, you microdose it, Retta won't make you nauseous. You won't get sick off of it. If you are a cancer patient, so when they screen for peptides, right, when you're doing your intake for peptides for anybody that's going to tell you what protocols to do, they're going to ask you if you are either a cancer patient or a cancer survivor. Are you currently under treatment? More often than not, they're not going to put you on a major peptide protocol because of the fact, well, certain, it's exactly what he said, under your physician's guidance, certain peptides won't help and certain peptides will. So none of the ones we talked about today are growth hormone peptides.
Yeah.
No. So we didn't bring up growth hormone peptides for a reason, because growth hormone peptides are more specific. So they're more specialized. So you're going to talk to somebody and say, hey, for me specifically, I have perimenopausal stubborn fat, right? And I want to get rid of it. So I'm going to take something called tesamorelin. Tesamorelin also has growth hormone factors in there, though. So if I was a cancer patient, they would not let me take it. They would say, okay, hey, kind of ease up on that, take something else, take Retta, take something else, but don't take the tesamorelin. The ones that we've talked about, yeah, they're not growth hormones. You had a hand up in the back. NAD is not even technically a peptide. It's a nutraceutical. Yeah, it's a coenzyme. So it's not even. That's the reason why it's been around a lot longer, is because it's more safe. A lot of the peptides that are on the market right now are out because of what Tim's story is, with millions of other people that have similar stories to him. And that's where he became passionate about it, is because he saw the effects that it was having on him. Being a physician himself, he believed in it so strongly that he became passionate about it and started teaching about it. No pill. So BPC 157 and TB 500 are two peptides you take in conjunction. But TB 500 you're taking two to three times a week. BPC 157 you're taking every day. If you're doing the stack, which I'm very sorry, if you're doing the stack, is not something that I fully recommend, because of the fact that you're only supposed to take TB 500 like 3 times a week or 2 to 3 times a week, and then BPC 157 daily. People who are selling it as a combined stack in a bottle are kind of doing a disservice because of the fact that you can't really dose properly. You're supposed to dose these things properly. The more you overdose on one or underdose on another, the less effects you're going to have. Sorry. I think you brought up homeopathic or Eastern medicine. So a lot of the Eastern medication that you get is not FDA approved. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm just bringing it up in general. We don't either. No. Yeah. what the reason why is because it's a gray area. So people are like, oh, I won't take anything that's not FDA approved. Well, okay, well then you're not taking 90% of the things on the market. Yeah. Most supplements are not FDA approved because you can't, exactly what you said, you can't put a patent on something that your body already creates. Piggybacking off of what Tim said, there's two different modalities for stem cells. There's something called adipose, which is when you're taking stem cells from your body, kind of hyping them up, blowing them up. Umbilical cord is a different one. So the umbilical cord is not autologous. It's not coming from your own body. Umbilical cord is coming from brand new babies' umbilical cord. So they're donated by mothers who have C-section deliveries, and they are opting in to store their babies' stem cells or umbilical cords for stem cells production. Then they take the stem cells, the umbilical cord blood, as well as the actual cells around the umbilical cord, and then they harvest them into stem cells. That's one type of stem cell. And there's autologous stem cells that are created from your other bone marrow or your actual fat. They'll do like a liposuction type of situation where they pull your stem cells out of your body, spin it around in a centrifuge, and then inject it back in, hoping that those stem cells will help activate your own internal body stem cells and create new cells. That's one type of stem cell therapy. Again, regenerative. The Wharton's jelly stem cells are the most potent because they're brand new, right? When we're brand new, we are the most, we have the most, what is it? What? Well, no, we're our immune systems, everything's very strong. We're really powerful. We have a lot to grow. When we're older, the more that we deplete, the less our cells are viable. And so taking stem cells from a baby, injecting it into yourself, you're giving yourself live cells that are 30 million cells that you're putting back into yourself. And that's different than peptides because that is a completely different protocol. You have to get that through IV hydration. There are localized injections for stem cells, but you have to have a very specialized physician doing that for you. You cannot just go to a regular med spa and get stem cell treatment in your back or your leg or wherever. You have to go to a specific doctor or physician who knows how to administer that stem cell. But it is actually the future of medicine. 100% is. So that is going to be something that, because it depends on the protocol, right? It depends on which peptides you're going to do. If you're going to do BPC 157 where you have to take it daily, that's going to be self-administered. You're going to have to administer it yourself. You get taught how to do it. You go to a physician. You can go to Tim. Tim has his own med spa. You can go to Tim and have him show you how to do it, or you go home with a vial and you inject it yourself. There's two ways to do it. One is intramuscularly, which is a lot more painful than doing it subcutaneously. So subcutaneously is either your butt, like how you get a shot in your butt when you're a kid from the doctor, or you do 2 inches below the navel, you pinch your fat and then you inject. And if you don't have fat and you're lucky, you pinch your skin and you inject with the no fat. So you're going to want to basically source your product well. There are overseas products that are coming in that are not sourced well. There are people selling them at your gym, people selling them at, off the internet. You're going to want to make sure you get a provider, a physician that does it, that can get the medical grade compounds for you. Because if you're not getting medical grade, you're not getting the best that's on the market, essentially. You're going to get something that you don't have viability for. So there's multiple things on the market, right? You'll hear US sourced peptides, or you'll hear US made peptides. They're two different things. US sourced means a company in the United States sourced it, but they could have gotten it anywhere. US made means it's made here in the United States. Most of the medical grade products are made here in the United States. They're not sourced from overseas. They're actually sourced from the United States. They're made here in the United States, and then they're triple lab tested. Meaning there's 3 different pharmacy labs that are testing the potency and the actual purity of the product. So when you actually get a medical grade peptide in your body, you will notice the difference almost immediately. It is a night and day difference from non-purity products. So my background is I come from regenerative medicine, so I used to do PRP. It was my big thing that I got into the business doing. And when I saw what peptides were doing in conjunction with stem cells were doing in conjunction with PRP. You hear all sorts of different things, right? PRP, I'm sure all of you guys know what PRP is, platelet-rich plasma. Taking your own blood, spinning it in a centrifuge, taking your plasma out, which is your own plasma, and sticking it back into your body. kind of similar to stem cells, sticking it back in your body to help you heal. PRP was used in the 1950s and world wars because they were helping wounded soldiers. That was kind of what they started trying it out with. Then it just evolved into athletics, into now into aesthetics. People are injecting it in their face, they're injecting it under their eyes, they're doing microneedling with it. So peptides was introduced to me when I was doing the PRP stuff. It was also introduced to me in conjunction with stem cells. So stem cells, so when you're doing that, you hear of all weird things. When I was selling PRP or when I was doing that, I heard of salmon sperm. People were injecting salmon sperm into their face, microneedling with salmon sperm to get their fine lines and wrinkles reduced. You hear things that come out. From what we've heard, the potency and the actual viability of that salmon sperm is garbage. It's nothing. It doesn't really actually do anything. It's taking fake exosomes and putting them into your body. The same thing with PDGF, which is platelet-derived growth factors. It's sticking artificial stuff in your body. I don't know if the cow peptides work. I have never heard of it, but that it's definitely something I'm going to be looking into now from here on out to see. Yeah. Yeah, from Russia. I'll look it up for sure. Thank you so much. Any other questions? So we have what's it called, educational material for you guys to take home with. We brought that with us. We also have, if I'll put it up here, but it's a QR code you can scan and take home with you and fill it out. And Tim has the ability to scan you and see if you guys are not scan you, assess your ailments and tell you which protocol to go on. Yes, exactly.
What are your goals?
But I mean, yes, if you're asking today, if you're asking me today, if somebody wants to throw out, hey, I have X, Y, and Z as an ailment, I can tell you what I would think would be your ideal situation to do. Absolutely, I have the ability to. I mean, there's a peptide for anything. We just literally got a med spa that we know that asked us for something called PT141 for Valentine's Day, and it's what they call Viagra in a bottle. There's a peptide for everything. I'm sure there's probably going to be somebody that's going to compound something based off of urine. Who knows? You know, it's all based off of science and research. And I don't, like I said, I'm not knocking the pee thing. It's not something that, it's not something I've heard of so far in stem cells. It's amazing what these things are doing. I have a patient that, not a patient, a client that they have cognitive issues of early dementia. They're taking, is it CMAX or Slank? I can't remember. I always get this too confused. CMAX is helping them with their cognitive functioning. I'm going to put my dad on it tomorrow. You know, it's one of those things where I feel like this is going to be the future. Crohn's disease patients with it, PPC157, IBS patients with it. So they're doing test runs on both patients and seeing excellent results. Are you still actively under treatment, or you're done? So have you looked into umbilical cord stem cells? So umbilical cord stem cells are they're doing localized injections for umbilical cord stem cells. We also have, our company does provide that. But that's not what we're here for today, so that's why I didn't talk about it. But what they're doing is they're doing localized injections for people who have bone pain, and they're seeing results within 2 to 3 hours. So here's the thing. A lot of these peptides can do a lot of things, right? But to claim that it does something, you have to have actual facts, like proof behind it. To say that it does that, can it? Perhaps, but there's not enough concrete evidence to show that it does it consistently, where they can actually put that as a claim on the actual product. So like retatrutide, they're saying they're doing trials right now on retatrutide with cancer patients. They're saying it actually cured some of these cancer patients. Now, can it come out and say, hey, Reta cures cancer? They can't, because there's not enough data behind it to back that. So it's the same thing with the kidney functioning. Have I heard that it helps with the kidney functioning? 100% I have. So does glutathione, I think. But ultimately, can it claim it? You can't put a claim on that, unfortunately. It depends on the doctor. 50% of them are going to be like, oh, that's great. Where are you getting it from? Can we get it too? And then the other 50% is like, oh, that's all hocus pocus, and don't believe that. It's all going to be dependent on who your doctor is and how much education that they've done. I will tell you right now, I go into doctors' offices about 100 times a week. I talk to physicians about 100 times a week. It's really unfortunate. This is why I'm partnered with Tim in certain things. Most physicians don't know anything about anything. And I'm so sorry to say that, but they don't. Well, but he does education. Like he actually educates himself. A lot of these physicians don't even educate themselves. They depend on their reps. So they're only prescribing, Ozempic because that's all they know. Or exactly. And so, and then they're asking their rep, hey, what does this drug do? And the rep's telling the doctor, this is what the drug does. I come from a family of physicians. My entire father's side of my family, 22 cousins, are all physicians. So I can tell you firsthand that half of them are idiots. But at the end of the day, because I grew up with them, and I wouldn't let them treat me from far. But what I'm saying, and I'm not saying, I'm saying that as a joke, but I'm also saying that truthfully speaking, because when I talk to physicians and I know more about the product than they do, and I know more about the background than they do, it scares me. It makes me nervous. But when he knows more than I do, I'm excited because I'm like, okay, finally somebody knows what he's talking about.